Realtors, here's the 3 reasons why your YouTube ads are keeping you broke. I've personally reviewed hundreds of realtors campaigns and have generated over $10 million in listing volume for realtors across the country. And I found most agents make these subtle mistakes that they don't even realize they're making in the first place. The good news is once you fix these mistakes, your results can literally double or even triple overnight. So stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for and how to fix them. So the first thing that is killing your ads is your weak offer. This is something I see all too often where agents get a ton of people coming through clicking on the ad and they always go to me and say, hey Noah, what's wrong with it? Must be the landing page. But a lot of times I go and diagnose the root problem, which is the ad. You're just not positioning the offer as valuable enough. So a lot of agents go out and they try to think about, hey, what would I click on if I was a homeowner? What would I do? But the way you come up with an offer in any industry is you go look at what is already a proven offer in this industry. Now, if you go look at like Facebook ads as an example, as much as I hate them, what everyone does is a home valuation and a list of homes. Now, the reason for that is because yeah, you can bring in some low quality garbage leads with it if you position the messaging the wrong way, but it's obviously a proven offer because it's worked time and time again. Agents have been running that exact offer for the past 5, 10, 15 years and it's still proven. Right? So think about that. Think about what's already working. If you go out and create some guide on something random, even though some guides do work, right? It's all about the positioning, the messaging in the guide, how you're positioning the guide, right? But why not just go out, especially if you're trying to do it yourself, rather than wasting your money trying to test an offer that you think would do super, super well? I find a lot of agents go out, they have something in their mind. They're like, okay, this offer is going to do really, really well. But that's a lot of times it's because you're not a marketer. I see agents always come to me and are just very ignorant in terms of their marketing. They're like they act like they know exactly what they're doing, that they're doing it right. Something must be wrong with some other part, not their ad, because that's what they wrote with ChatGPT. Right? Spoiler alert, anyone can write those ads nowadays. So think about how you can make an offer so good, but also take advantage of what's already proven. I'm not saying you have to go out and offer a free home valuation or a list of homes, but keep that in mind. Like find what's actually working, what's already proven in this industry, rather than going out and trying to just fully reinvent the wheel. So that's the first mistake. And if you have a weak offer, your ad's never going to work. Even I see a lot of times agents get high click-through rate, which is the percentage of people clicking on their ad. They get a high click-through rate. I usually want to aim for anything above 1%, so 1% and up. Agents are showing me, hey, I'm getting a 4%, 3% click-through rate, but it's like they still don't know what your offer is, and they're clicking on it. They're probably just like, here's like, what the heck is this? And they go on the landing page like, okay, yeah, this I don't want this. This is not valuable at all. Right, so part of that's the landing page, but a big part of that's the offer. So I wouldn't look too much into the click-through rate. I would focus on what's the quality of people we're actually bringing in. Now, if you have like a unique offer and it's obviously working, then go ahead and keep doing that. But that's the whole point of it, is you need to find something that actually resonates with these people. So if you're not getting opt-ins, or you're getting garbage leads coming in, think about it's definitely something not necessarily with your landing page, not necessarily with the targeting, but a lot of times it comes down to the offer. That's the stem of pretty much every ad. Every ad is built off of the offer. So that is mistake number one, is having the weak offer. Now, second mistake is having a poor creative. Now, this is something I see so much. Just like I went with the offer, I see a lot of agents, they always think that they have the absolute best ad out there. And they look at other ads and they're like, oh, how would anybody click on that ad? And then I show them the numbers that we're doing and they're like, how is that possible? I wouldn't click on that ad. But it's not about what you would do. You're not the homeowner. That's why you're a real estate agent, right? You're not clicking on these ads because you see it time and time again. You need to put yourself in the perspective of a homeowner. And it is tough to do that. So really the best way to do it is just by going and testing. Now that leads me to my second point really on this, is so many agents are so scared of ad spend. Right now, it terrifies a lot of people. Where I speak with agents, they're spending $5 or $10 a day, and they're gonna think they're gonna get results with their ads. Now, the way it works, the way the numbers work is, if you're selling $500,000 homes, right, in your market, $500,000, you're taking home what? Let's say 10 grand in commission, roughly, 10 grand in GCI. Now you're expecting to spend $10 a day, which is $300 a month,
and get a $10,000 commission check. Sorry, I don't know. That was supposed to be a one. You're expecting to spend $300 a month and get $10,000 back every single month. That's just not the way that ads work. Otherwise, these platforms would be making it harder for you because they obviously, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, they're in the business to make money. And if they're giving out these returns, you bet you might as well just go get a lottery ticket and they might as well hand you winning lottery tickets, right? So you can't do that. You can build up to that point, but the only possible scenario where you're going to be able to consistently spend this low of a budget, even $600 a month, and expect to get a listing or something every single month is if you have a massive personal brand in your market already and you already have a huge audience, maybe you have a huge YouTube channel with 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, then yes, you can get outsized returns like this. It's just like if I was Ryan Serhant and I wanted to launch like a coaching program or ran an ad, every single person would click on the ad because just the instant facial recognition. But for 99% of realtors, including me as well, we don't have that luxury. So we need to be willing to spend more. Obviously, we're not gonna want to spend $10,000 to get a $10,000 deal, right? That's not the way it works. But you need to expect to spend a bit more. Now that's not even the ad itself, but the first part is your ad is never gonna work, or at least in a quick enough time frame, if you're not spending enough, because it's gonna take forever for Google to get the data to actually find out what's working in your market specifically. So you're gonna end up spending $2,000 over 6 months and you're not going to get a single deal just because you weren't able to iterate quick enough and you just wasted 6 months of your time as well, right? Like in business, speed is important. Speed is almost is I would say speed is more important than anything else, right? The quicker you can get data, the quicker you can iterate on it. Once you find, okay, we spent $500, we found what ad works. Now we go put all the budget into this one. Oh, we spent $1,500, we get a listing, right? Just like the last video I made, this agent, we spent $4,000 and then got a listing, and it was like a $900,000 listing, biggest one of his career, $22,000 commission check. A lot of agents would be scared. They would just stop there. They would stop after they spend $3,000 and just, oh, I give up, right? But no, it's about sticking with it, and you need to be in it for the long run. If you're in a position where you can't lose a couple thousand on ads, I wouldn't go and run ads, honestly. Now, obviously, if you work with me, I have a 100% guarantee that you're literally at least gonna make your money back or you don't pay. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But for all of you, if you're running ads yourself, like be willing to lose a bit of money. Like don't put your life savings on the line just because you think you're gonna like make it big and win the lottery with these ads. Because if you're desperate, you're not gonna get results. Just like sales, if you're desperate for the sale for the listing, you're not gonna get it because people can sense that. And then in terms of the creative, like a lot of agents, like they just make the same like chat GPT copy pasted scripts. It all looks the exact same. And so I was just trying to make it more, honestly, use ChatGPT to give you a framework, but make it how like you actually talk. That's something I see nowadays. Even though I have like the ChatGPT prompts for the scripts, you're never gonna want to go and just read a ChatGPT prompt verbatim. You want to tweak a lot of stuff in there to make it sound how you actually sound, because now people can really easily tell, okay, this is probably just ChatGPT. So that's the second thing. It comes down to poor creative. Again, first, we have the weak offer. Now, these two things are going to solve 99% of your problems right here. Trust me, those two things. Now, the last part is having a generic, unprofessional funnel. Now, there's the reason I kind of went hard on this, but, and I know I am being kind of critical, but I'm kind of frustrated after all the things I've seen. Number one, generic. Every agent is running literally when I go and look at people's funnels, it's always the exact same thing. It's always a landing page that looks the same. They have their logo. They have a bunch of random stuff on the page for people to click around on it. All my videos, I tell you, keep it extremely clear. People just can't follow directions. It's all the same. It's the same stuff. There's way too much to click on, and it just all looks the exact same. Like you would click on anyone's website, it all looks the exact same for the most part. Now, obviously, I'm speaking for like the majority of people. I'm not speaking to the 5% who are doing it well, right? Because they're already crushing. They're probably not watching this video. But if you're watching it, it's probably because you're making some of these mistakes. So having number one, generic, and then also unprofessional. So it just doesn't look like something that it, like if your ad is, if you have these two parts right, your offer, your creative, you're positioning it as professional, unique, very cool, and then you send them to a funnel that just looks very unprofessional, which I'm going to show you my exact funnel, but usually it's like a landing page, a calendar booking page, and stuff like that. I just see a lot of times it just looks super, super generic, the same stuff over and over, and you're just not able to grab these people's trust, which is why you get clicks, you get people clicking on your ad going through, but they don't opt in because there's not congruency with the ad to the landing page to the funnel. Right now, that's out of the way though. Again, I was being pretty critical on that, but it's also that's the best way to improve it is by auditing what you're doing, and hopefully you could pick out a couple mistakes that you are making with some of these, and you can go tweak them. Now I just want to show you my funnel as well really quickly, what's working for me to help agents add hundreds of thousands of dollars in GCI with YouTube ads. Number one, we're targeting motivated homeowners. I'm not going to go through all this in this video. I'm sure you know. I would hope you're doing this. You're geo-targeting with your ads, and then you're also basing it off of search intent, so what people are searching for. So if someone owns a home and they're looking up, hey, I need to sell my home now, how to sell my home fast, targeting those people. Second, we have the custom branded video. I'm not going to go through all of this, but then we have the pre-qualification page. Now, on this page, what a lot of agents do on their landing page is I hear agents come to me and they say, Noah, how are you possibly getting people's like address, them to answer questions about their property? Now, a big part of that, your offer in your ad is going to do that. Whereas if you have a strong enough ad and offer and video, then you're going to be able to ask people as many questions as you want. The number one mistake I see agents making is getting leads, especially if you're getting like listing leads and you don't even like get their address, right? Like that's probably not someone who's actually looking to sell. A reason I'm like asking for their address and these questions is because if they're not willing to answer these questions, yeah, we're not going to get the lead, but that lead isn't going to sell their home if they're not even willing to put in their address, answer a couple questions, right? So there's a give and take there. You're going to get higher cost leads, but it's like, what do you want? Would you rather have fewer higher intent leads who are way more motivated, or have like 50 leads who are just kind of looking around, just clicked on your ad just because they wanted to see what their home's worth or something? Right? Of course, you're going to want the highly qualified ones. If you want those other ones, then just go run Facebook ads, right? Then I would click off this video. But it also comes from you need to make your offer and your messaging so powerful that they're willing to go answer whatever questions you want. Right? So that's a pre-qualification page, making sure you're only speaking with people who have intent. And especially the number one mistake that I see agents making is just getting their email. Now, this is literally, if you're trying to get listings, this is literally the worst thing that you can ever do, because you're not going to convert someone over email. If they've never, like if you have a newsletter where they're already familiar with you, yeah, you can convert people, but that's if they've seen you over and over. If you're trying to convert them over email, it's probably going to take 3 years of them seeing an email every single week from you. The best way to do it, get their number every single time, get their phone number. When they come in, just give them a call. That's the single easiest way to do this. And if you've done your ad right, when you get on the call, they're already gonna know who you are. They're gonna like you. They're gonna trust you because they've seen you in the ad. From there, you go book the in-person appointment right there, and it's wraps from there. Usually, you're usually gonna get the listing if you do it right. Right, so that's the pre-qualification page. This is super super important for lead quality and also getting you more conversions. After that, I recommend using a pre-sell video. Point of this video is we want to pre-handle all the common objections and just add another touch points. The more times you can get in front of them, the better. So what you don't want to do is after they go through your landing page, then there's just like a message like, hey, thanks for filling this out. We'll be in touch with you shortly. All right. At least if you're going to say that, say it in a video format where they can see you, they can hear you. Again, the more touch points, more times they can see you, consume more of your content, the better. You can also provide some value in here, but what we're also doing is giving a call to action, saying, hey, if you are serious about selling your home, go book a call, right? And then these homeowners, they know you, they like you, they trust you before you ever make contact with them, and then you start getting inbound bookings. Now, that's pretty much the whole funnel there. The last part, though, is you get these pre-sold, ready-to-go sellers in your calendar, but then we also have automated nurture sequences through Go High Level, whatever CRM you use. I just found Go High Level is the most robust in terms of making these automations and conditional logic, but it's basically nurturing these people for you. But don't get me wrong, don't think that this automated nurture is gonna do all the work for you. Because what it comes down to is you, your ISA, your virtual assistant, someone getting on the phone with these people, converting them, following a proven process. Just like I give all my clients the exact script on how to convert that. If you do want to learn about that, go check below. Again, I have the guarantee in there as well if you're serious about scaling. But otherwise, you need to have all these in place. Otherwise, one's not going to work without the other. It really is like a big machine. If you're missing even one or two cogs, as simple as just the offer, which is a subset of your creative, right? You have your ad, the offer is just a little circle in this ad, and then you have the messaging, the hook, the call to action, the body. There's a bunch of different parts that make up the ad itself, and that's just one part of it, right? You need to understand these with every single part, which is why I recommend, if you are serious, to go just work with someone who's already done this, unless you do like to test stuff, you want to spend a lot of time, like months, testing this stuff, right? But that's the entire funnel there, and those are the mistakes that I find a lot of agents make. So hopefully, if you're watching this, you found out, okay, I'm making this mistake, and you can go and fix it. But anyways, I hope you did get value from this video. Comment below what other videos you want to see from me. Otherwise, go check out the video on the screen that YouTube recommends for you now, and I'll see you there.